I don't know.
No, it's fun. This is us though. This is our style. We're not professional. We're just like, this is how our interviews work. I'm just like,
I'm down. I'm down.
Yeah, I just want to get out. I want to make it. We want to make it as easy as possible for you, Mark. Freaking, we're not gonna make it any.
Yeah, we already got the clip-on mics today. That's like a huge upgrade.
It's a huge upgrade.
Yeah. You guys are going places, huh?
One day.
Emmy nominations.
That's the goal. But ready?
Yep.
Are we starting? We're already started, huh?
Yep.
Easy. We have Mark Healey. In my opinion, is one of the greatest watermen / big wave surfers on this planet. Hey Mark, so how's life? How's everything?
Can't complain. Sucking up air still. Body works for the most part. Family's good. Waves have been insane. Diving and fishing's been insane. It feels like I've been on a trip at home or something.
Surf trip?
Yeah. I love it.
So one of my really earliest memories of me watching you surf and like video part was, remember the movie Revelation from Bill Ballard?
Yeah.
You're like, what, 16, 15 in those clips?
Something like that.
Right?
I'm bad with ages, but
you're really young.
I was young.
And like, okay, so this is kind of why really good point of interviewing you was, you're like one of the first prodigy guys at Pipeline surfing out there. If you talk to like Kalani Boy, Jamie Sir, O'Brien, everyone, you were the first guy being out there at 14, 13, packing 10-foot closeouts, and like there's video proof, you know what I mean? And like, how was it growing up when you're such a young kid in that era, or an era of surfing with all those gnarly guys?
Oh like, yeah, I mean, they're getting nuts on the leaf blower right now. So, I think he's turning. Yeah, back then it was a different world. Holy moly, it's like almost unrecognizable compared to what it is now. It was just scary.
Right.
You're like a boy in a man's world.
No, especially you, like.
Yeah, and I was a pipsqueak. It probably helped that I was so much smaller.
Right.
Because it's like maybe like a little less chance of getting slapped by a grown man, but still strong chance, right? But it was just a more violent place. It was a more regulated place. I remember seeing like chicks get straight beat up in like Cammy's parking lot. Like dude going bang, bang, bang.
Bang, and
like,
knocking them out.
Straight up beat up. Foodland parking lot. Like that's how, so you see stuff and you see like all kinds of people getting lickings in the water. You're like, and there's nothing that's gonna stop any adult from like properly beating my ass as a child. Like,
right.
So you have to think about that. It was a real thing. I'm not saying that's a good thing, but it was real. And yeah, it was just a wild place, and that's why I used to catch closeouts at Pipeline, because I knew I'd never learn how to make a bottom turn and pull into a tube because I couldn't get good waves.
Right.
So I'm like, I guess it's kind of like how a lot of people did, is like you go to shore break or sandbar when it's scooping and just learn how to stick drops and try to get in.
Right.
And so that was my theory.
But you just did it on a 10, 12 footer closeout.
Well, I'd see like Briley doing it, and I was like, he's the man. Like, oh, I can get like, you know, a 10, 12 foot psycho wave at Pipeline and go through the motions, but it's just not going to end well for me. That's all.
Right.
I can get the.
You know, I can get this wave, you know, but I know what the end result is.
Yeah, but I swear, like I was always beat up and stuff, but I didn't, when I was lighter, I didn't hit the bottom as much as I did when I put on weight.
Okay.
I feel like you just get like blown up into the air more.
You're just
now
light.
you're just like, ah!
You're like, damn, I gained all this muscle, I'm stoked, but at the same time, not.
I'm a sinker now.
I'm
not just getting like blown like a leaf.
Do you what's like your first earliest memories of surfing pipe, and do you remember like what year?
I remember the first time we surfed pipe over like when there was like pipe waves.
Right.
You know, like 4 to 6 probably, maybe some bigger sets. We actually all surfed it together. It was me, Jamie O'Brien, Danny Fuller, Leon Rosetto, and Jason Frederico. And we all camped on the beach in a tent.
Yeah.
So we could be out there paddled out in the dark and try to get a couple waves before the real dogs
heavy hitters,
showed up.
Right.
You know?
And they don't usually surf till like 9, 10 o'clock anyway though, yeah, back? Or there were some early bird guys?
There was like, I feel like the early bird guys, there'd be like a bodyboarder or two and like Wade Chikoro.
Wait till
Wayne
Coral.
Tokoro was always the early bird guy forever.
Right. He was all. I remember him always being out there, and then like. One set. One set. Uno momento. Who were the guys that you looked up to surfing out there? Like that's pretty sick. I didn't even know you were out there with Briley, so it's still surfing too. That's super rad.
Oh yeah.
But,
So I was like, I looked up to Briley, Marvin. Who else? Mike Stewart.
right.
I remember that like the first time, so probably the second time I surfed pipe after that camp out morning, I surfed pipe and it was like big. And I was on this like little 5'2" made for doing like hossas. And I remember paddling over a wave and like there's a set out the back and I just see Mike Stewart just kicking past. He's like, there's a big one behind this. You better start moving.
Yeah.
And I was like, ah! Like fully like there's like your nightmare, right? It's
Yeah.
like a 10-footer just grinding. I forgot who was on it, but somebody who belongs there.
Right.
And I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna be like bailing my board in the barrel by this guy. He's gonna murder me. But I just remember, but I would have like totally taken it on the head if it wasn't for Stewart.
right.
And just watching his approach to pipe was insane. Uncle Derek,
Right.
Uncle Mike, and then like guys like Braden. Yeah, those early years, that was kind of like the guys I was really watching. I'm biased. I'm a Goofyfoot
Right.
watcher, you know.
To be fair, it's okay. Everyone has their favorites, but that's what kind of molds us and our style and like inspiration of surfing out there, right? And
Yep.
you connect with the people, and then you kind of build relationships. Like, you know, you're riding for Quicksilver and all that, man. When they had the Quicksilver house, the Volcom house, I remember I was like a grom, but you guys, when it was your guys' turn and your guys' time, you guys would have those houses filled up and just like, kind of, you guys were the guys. You guys were ruling and like.
We had to be kind of like the adults and like babysitters sometimes, although it was definitely some like heavy-handed babysitting. You know what happened was I grew up down by Velzeland across from, you know,
Yep.
by Comsat there, and my buddy Kavika Drummond was renting the house that's Jamie O'Brien's house now
Okay.
at Pipe downstairs, and he told me, he was like, hey man, we gotta move out of here. Like, I could hand this place off to you if you want to rent it. I was
No
like,
way.
oh my God, yes. And so I just told my parents, I'm like, hey, I'm moving out of home a year early. I got a good opportunity to move down at Pipe.
Uh-huh.
My dad was like, high-fived me out the door. Get down there. And I moved in downstairs. That place is a shithole, but it was me and Jesse Merle Jones from Kauai. We were downstairs, and we split the rent of $900 a month for a
Okay.
2-bedroom. Upstairs was Fuller and Darren Crawford.
No way.
And so that was the first year, the first winter that I moved out of home and lived there was the first year there was a Volcom house.
Oh wow.
So everything started at once.
Holy shit.
And it was just wild, like crazy.
Oh, you must have some crazy stories of during that time.
Crazy
huh?
stories. We were lucky that like our house was a safe house, right? Because they had Fuller and Darren had like this whole wall is filled with vinyl albums. He's been collecting vinyl forever.
Okay.
And Darren is a major dancing queen.
Okay.
He loves to party, so like all the girls felt safe coming over there.
Yeah.
So whenever they get like terrified at the Volcom house, they'd come over, and then like some of the boys would come over, and they like keeping it a safe space because
Right.
everybody wins, you know. So they'd regulate dummies showing up, and so you'd have like the crazy dance parties happening upstairs, and then we're downstairs, and the place would just flood and be 2 feet underwater every winter.
That's fucking amazing.
Yeah, but it was cheap, and we were living in Pipe.
But that's like your first experience right there.
Yeah, so I lived there for like 3 or 4 years, I think. And then I got on Quicksilver and then just moved into the Quicksilver house. Just leapfrogged the Volcom house on the other side of it.
Right.
So I was neighbors to actually both of the Volcom houses for like 6 years during all the craziest window.
When surfing was really fun.
It was, you know, it was
And
fun.
there was a lot of money during that time too.
Yeah.
It was like the golden era of surfing where a lot of surfers were getting paid good money. Right?
Totally.
Especially.
It was so much easier back
And you're
then
just
to
a
make
pipe
money.
guy. You're doing it all. You're like big wave fucking waterman and like pipe and like you travel the world like going to Mexico, Tahiti, chasing those crazy waves and like you kind of open up a door too for like, what do you call that? Like, cause was there guys doing that before you maybe? Like, but
not really.
Cause
I just got lucky. Things kept coming back into my lap. Like when tow surfing got really big, I was like, I still want to like, I feel like there's unfinished business with progressing paddle and surfing. And I was like kind of shelved for a while. And then I got lucky that big wave paddling kind of came in vogue again. Like none of my friends that were surfers were into spearfishing. Barely any of them were into fishing, so those are like separate groups I'd hang out with. And like people started in the surf world started getting interested in it.
Right.
But it was just, I got lucky, it kept coming back around.
No, that's the cool thing too, is you kind of open up the door for like the fishermen, spearfishing, like watermen, like, you know what I mean? Like they had like the watermen, like Quicksilver was one of the first companies that had like the waterman line and all that, right? Kind of like they kind of did that. They kind of based it around you, I think. And
yeah,
like
I was working with them on that. I was pleading with Quicksilver for so long. I was like, you need to acknowledge the fishing community. I was like, it's the second biggest activity on planet Earth besides gardening.
Wow.
And it's like, that was a time when brands like when Nike bought Hurley, and the surf world and action sports world was still very like standoffish to any outsiders. Like Nike was getting crucified by everyone talking mad shit about like they're not surfing, blah blah blah. I'm like, Quicksilver, like you have something that's way bigger than surfing even, and a lot of surfers, especially like on the East Coast and stuff, they're fishermen too. Like, and they'll embrace you with open arms. Right. They're like, what? A cool company actually gives a shit about us? We love it. I'm like, you're already making 3/4 of the stuff that they're gonna use anyways. You just make a couple of items that are specific to them, and that gets you in all these fishing stores and stuff, and they're gonna be stoked. And the thing is with fishing, that's like, your age range is like 5 years old to 75 years old.
Oh yeah, you can fish forever. Like you can like surfing. You can still surf, but you're not gonna be able to surf pipe and stuff until like a certain age, you know. Yeah. Well, like Uncle Mike, he kind of sets. He keeps setting the bars for all of us. No, sorry, all you guys can all do it, but that's the cool thing, right? But I'm just saying, like fishing. Yeah, you're right. Like anyone from 5 to 70, some 80-year-old people can do it. Go on a boat and they're having a great time. Yeah. And a lot of the times, fuck.
But then it started, then you saw the Mad Hueys do something, and it's the Salty Cruise came out and stuff like that, and I was just like, oh my God, could have been doing this like 12 years earlier.
No, but that kind of brings me to this full circle of fishing, because I remember you're like the first guy. I remember the surf magazines, and you know how they would take us on surf trips, but you're the only guy in the magazine would have little pictures of you spearfishing and catching a fish and surf mags. I'm like, dude, not much people can really, you're like the OG to do all that.
Well, that's how I explored so many like crazy wild spearfishing places all around the world, is because I could cover my ticket to go surfing and then everybody bails and I'd stay for like a couple of weeks by myself and just go explore. And usually, you know how it is, it's like you go down to Tahiti or something, you make friends, they're like, oh, you're into spearfishing? My cousin, he lives on this island. It's crazy. You can go stay with him, stuff like that.
Yeah, they open up like, you're like the Anthony Bourdain kind of stuff. You meet people and they're like, hey, come hang out with me, and you're like, oh,
bruh,
okay.
I don't know how many times I've stayed for like a week plus with people I cannot speak any. Like my French is like 5 words, or English is like 5 words, and just like hand signals, like I'm a guest. I'm like helping with chores and.
But that's how you connected. You connected through like food and like fishing and surfing and the ocean and like the lifestyle. It's something, this kind of lifestyle that you created for yourself, and like a lot of the companies kind of took notice and like.
But that's the whole, the racket, the scam of being a professional surfer. And my view of it is like, it helps you maintain a great lifestyle. You know, it's like an ends to a means. Like if I can get by and bring value to some of the companies that I work with, then I can continue to like try to get better or hone different skill sets and live a great lifestyle. I've always known like, hey, this thing, you can get rug pulled any day, and I'm not scared of working. I'm just grateful for it all. I mean, I went to zero twice, just getting dropped from companies, and you know, it's always something like you're having your best year ever, then like oh, there goes the Twin Towers in New York. I guess things are about to change.
Hey, so,
and everyone's fired.
You're
And
like, hey, I
things
know
like
you created
that.
this whole marketing stuff, but we have no budget for you. So
Yeah.
what the fuck do you mean? What? Like,
It's kind of like, and I think that's like a fallacy that a lot of people that are in this, I guess, profession have. It's like, in a way, you're very similar to a farmer and how beholden they are to like weather. It's like, you can do everything right, but you don't get rain for a year,
You're not gonna
screwed.
barely-
You're not gonna get anything. It's like, you can do everything right, but new chief financial officer gets hired at the brand and they don't believe in
you or their vision.
ambassadors, or like, you know, it's at the end of the day, there's going to be the people and looking over the finances and the bean counters in the company, and if they're like telling the guy under him like, what does Mark Healey do for you? And the guy's like, yeah, he's just a good guy to have around, and they don't have like a nuts and bolts way to defend your existence. They might be like, huh, it's kind of sounding like we don't need you either, and they're like, whoa. I'll talk to him. I'll let him go. You know, but that's how it works.
Right, but that's business, right? That's the shitty thing about, you know, that's one thing I'm learning too, is like business is so much cutthroat and so much gnarlier, and it's just like, yeah.
But they're not nonprofits. They're not charities.
Right.
You know.
They're big corporate companies that the banks
Yeah.
own,
And-
you know, but which was owned by surfers.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And it's like, I get it. Like, we all gotta make a living too. And at one point, at some point in your life, you're like, fuck, I just want to sell out and kick back and travel and surf, and like, you guys do the jobs. But you know, like.
It depends. It's a personality type thing. I think if you like having challenges and grinding all the time, you're going to be on the entrepreneurial side. But then it's like I've gotten to see all sides of this equation. You know, being, you know, a co-founder of a business, being on the ambassador side, being kind of managing a team as well.
Okay.
So there's interesting aspects to all of it. And one thing that I think that people don't appreciate as far as like being on the ambassador side is that these people who started this company that's supporting you, they went hat in hand to people who have money, and they're like, can I borrow $10 million from you? I promise you'll make more in the next 5 to 10 years.
Right.
So their lives, reputation, there's like legal liability. If things aren't going so hot, they have to cut spending. There's no way around it.
Yeah, you gotta trim the fat.
They've given their word to people who, you know, gave them a shitload of money to invest.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, can I borrow 10 million? Yeah, sure, here you go. Let me just write you a check. Yeah, pay me back whatever. No, it
Yeah.
doesn't work like that.
Like, oh, you know about that 10 million? I lost it. Like,
Hey,
the
so-
conversation's not gonna go like that.
Hey, so, you know that 10 million? Here's an IOU.
Yeah, you might want to hold on to this one. No, so you have like, what I'm saying is that like there's a lot of adulting and responsibilities that's happening that a lot of people don't realize, who's never
Been in that kind
seen
of
what the sausage making looks like, you know, on the back end.
They just see the product, like you go to the store, oh, perfectly cut steak. Which
Yep.
you go hunting and you're like, dude, you know how hard it is to track the animal, shoot them,
Yeah.
then you clean them, and then you get to get the meat, pack it, and carry it out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Well, then you realize when you break enough of them down, it's like no two look the same.
right.
They're all different individuals. So whenever you go to the store now, you look at like 30 steaks that came from 30 different animals that look almost identical. You're like, this is not natural. Like,
yeah, you're like, this
how are
isn't
they
right.
achieving this outcome? You know?
It's called big banks.
Yeah,
They
big.
can achieve same cut every time.
Don't get me started,
If you're a
Burger.
hard worker entrepreneur like Healy,
Okay, so
tell.
now we're getting into the taxation is theft segment of the conversation.
let's talk about taxes. That's something I haven't learned.
This is like all
Are they still
all the
taking
boys. They're like,
30%?
oh, Healy's on his third beer. He's gonna start bitching about taxation in the bank soon.
Yeah, actually, I don't think it's bitching. It's actually knowledge that you drop on people. It's
Yeah.
just, people just don't want to hear about taxes because they have to deal
'Cause
with
it
it. But
sucks.
it effing sucks. I'm starting to learn that. I haven't paid taxes in like 5 to 10 years. I don't know if that's worse than swearing.
Because you haven't been making money, right?
Exactly.
Right?
I don't make
Okay.
any money. I do this for free. But anyway, what's your business that what's that you're co-founder of that you just were mentioning? And
So Protect. So we
Okay.
make a battery of supplements. We're the only liquid hydration supplement in the world.
okay.
So the minerals that are usually in a powder form in a packet, we found a way to blend it up into a much smaller form. So if you think of like, how much more difficult is it to smash apart or process a rock this big compared to a piece of sand? So if you think of those powders, like they're all made up of rocks this big.
Okay.
Your body has to break that down.
Yes.
And it's not able to break all of that down. It has to go through your GI tract. You pee it out, poop it out, all kinds of stuff like that. It doesn't get absorbed into your muscles and tissues to do the job it's supposed to. So we figured out a way to make that smaller, to be the closest thing to sticking an IV in your arm. So it immediately starts absorbing, even when it's in your mouth. Like
shit, that's gnarly.
Yeah, so it's gonna hit you the fastest, it's gonna rehydrate you the fastest. There's no powders, so there's no clumping. Mixes instantly. You can shoot it if you want. If you got a big, like, you know, some of the guys like dirt biking, hunting, whatever, they use a big water bladder on their back. So you don't have to mix it all in there.
Right.
You can shoot it and just drink your water. Doesn't make your bottles smell like King Tut's tomb if you forget it in your car. You ever do that with some of the powders, sugary ones? Bruh, I could knock a buzzard off a shit wagon. Swear, if you leave it hot in there, it just like ferments. But yeah, so, and no sugar, all sourced and made in the United States.
Oh, wow.
So we do
that's
hydration,
rad.
energy, so we get our caffeine derived from organic green coffee beans. There's no sugar, sweetened with stevia. It's a liquid packet. Immunity, we got a crazy good rest one. That's a non-hormone. So you're not taking melatonin. It's not gonna create a physical dependency.
Okay.
Doesn't make you drag. Just makes you relax, sleep real deep. But
No.
you know, we got our team, like Nate Florence is on the team. And he's like he's a great one because he's like tracking everything, all his sleep and his recovery stats on his watches all the time for a long time. So he sees the difference in the stuff that he uses from us. And yeah, it's been a fun journey. We're like 5.5 years in now.
Oh, wow.
And we just built out our whole manufacturing and fulfillment facility in Texas. And I'm the only non-veteran, so it's like a veteran-owned company.
I was gonna say, that's my next point I wanted to give out is like, you guys give a discount code and stuff to the veterans, and I think that's really cool. Cause a lot of these
first responders get it.
Yeah, and because those are the guys that should get the discounts, and like, that's really rad that I noticed that. So, you know, that's another thing I wanted to point out. Like, that's super cool what you guys are doing, and like, giving back to the right people.
Yeah.
Because those are the people that's, wow, we can live our lives with our families in this beautiful place and enjoy our freedom. People are like, nothing, it's not the freedom. It's like, wow, when the government's sending people to war and stuff, it's just like those guys are stepping up and like.
And it's not like they're getting paid a lot.
That's another thing. Yeah.
It's like, it's pretty crazy. All my friends that you know have served and did crazy stuff. You still come back and you're like, damn, I got to get a job.
Right.
I got barely any savings.
Well, that's another thing. That's
like
that's what.
Whoa, that was just like 6 years of your life.
And that's what irritates the shit out of me about the government. Let's not get into politics, but you know, you knew like how important hydration was because you spent hours and hours, especially when the waves are firing. You're like,
well, that's what
you
killed me. That sunk my battleship every time big wave surfing. Every time, it's the tricep cramp would. That's the only thing that would end me. Is that the reason why you kind of came up with, like, you met these guys and came up with this drink and all that? Yeah.
All the powders and.
So what had happened was, I met my other main co-founder at a different company.
Yes.
We got along super well, and our brains kind of work a similar way. That company went to total shit. It wasn't our company.
Right.
But we had always kept having these conversations. It's like we spent so much time working for other people and basically like taking things that are already damaged and trying to like polish them up and like. But also, it's like if I'm gonna live and die, I want to live and die by my own sword. You know,
right.
I don't want any. I don't want to blame like, oh yes, like I said those factors earlier. You know, like a new CEO gets hired or the company gets bought and they're liquidating everything. All of a sudden, you're like, everything's wiped out. You know, so we were like, what would we do if we started from scratch? And we found a partner and partners in labs that could create the effect that we needed, which was a nightmare and took years, but we got it because it's very difficult to keep all the different ingredients suspended and not crystallizing.
Okay.
So we figured that out through some key partnerships there. And, you know, I had our seed investor, then did our Series A. And, yeah, it's been off to the races. And
It's taking off too, right?
Yeah,
Right?
it's doing really
good.
well.
No, that's
We're-
epic. See, don't buy Gatorade, okay? Buy
Gatorade is rubbish.
buy Mark's.
The Protect
Protect.
hydration.
Where was your favorite places to travel besides like pipe? Like, what was the best place you got to, like, you know, during the summertime? Where would you go that'll help you practice and stay ready for the winter and stuff?
Well, we'd always go in April, like mid-April to mid-May to Tahiti with like all
Okay.
the Hawaii boys. Would kind of go. We'd go camp out at Pension Bonjui, which is a couple miles past the end of the road at Chopo, and then you have to take a boat out to the lineup.
Right.
But it was like $15 a night to camp, and we were just all freaking scabbing by. You know, it's like we were never rich. So everybody shows up like. I'd have like a brick of Spam from Costco.
Yeah,
Somebody
yeah,
would bring all the ramen, and you just go out there and live feral for a while.
Who's like your favorite traveling partners, or like some of your favorite travels? Like any stories or like funny shit that you can remember?
Oh, dude, there's
Like-
more than I can count.
What?
But, you know, I had like my Hawaii friends that I'd be traveling with. Like I did a lot of stuff with Fuller and Reef.
Okay.
And Amayan Goodwin from Kauai, and Jesse Merle Jones, who's my roommate. And back in the day, Darren. Who was the DJ
Yeah, but he was a
upstairs. He'd be-
photographer too.
Yeah,
so you're like,
one
hey,
of the best
Darren.
water cinematographers.
Yeah, so you're like, hey, you want to come with us on this trip? He's all,
Yeah.
fuck yeah, let's go. And then you're all, perfect. We got a photographer, boys.
Yeah.
We just need the mag to pick up the story.
Exactly. And then, yeah, I did a lot of trips with Amaya and Goodwin. And then we'd go to like Fiji and disappear out there for like a month at a time. And who else? Man, just all the guys. I feel like that Hawaii flight on Hawaiian Airlines right around April 17th or whenever that Saturday would fall in that window. It was just like all guys from Hawaii. And it
We
was
just go.
so rowdy on the plane. Like people would get arrested regularly landing in Papeete, and we just had. I wasn't, as you know, there's some fucking hood rats in our like.
Yeah.
There's some wild shit, and it would just be like handles of Jack Daniels passing around the plane. Like somebody would have like a speaker blasting music.
Shut up.
It was really. It was out of control, and I think Hank Photo he got arrested landing one of the times, and they freaking threw him in jail, stripped him down, and just shot him down with a hose all night.
No, they
Tahitian
didn't.
jail cell.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, and then
Holy
there's
shit.
a lot of wild shit that happened on those ones. And then everybody would stay, and then you're like living. It would be like, God, it was a lot of the years. It's like Braden. It'd be like me, Braden, Fuller, Crawford would be there, Liam McNamara, Cleo Roberson, and all different guys, cast and crew over the years, all camping in the same place. That's just in the
Right.
middle of nowhere. There's like you can't go anywhere from there. It's like
You're
a
just
long-ass
surfing.
hike.
You guys are just want the waves. so
Surf
you're-
back to camp. Surf back to camp.
And then but it's just like, you know, then you guys are young too, and you guys are hungry, and you guys are like, you guys are getting paid to do that, and it's kind of like a dream life, and you know, you build a cool relationship, and sometimes, you know, you guys bump heads and argue, scrap, but that's part of it, right? That's part of the trip, but that's
Yeah.
what makes memories. You look back at it now, and you're like, oh, those are that's like, you laugh about it. It's
Yeah.
just fun, you know what I mean? You're all, I can't believe we did this and that
Bunch
and
of
that.
wild people, right? And yeah, and that's why you travel and stay a long time at places, because you didn't have enough money to do a bunch of trips a year. So you're like, I'm gonna stay a month wherever I go, basically. So it was a little different in that you weren't like timing swells as much until later. And then yeah, it's good to get off the island. I remember I'd always tell my friends, especially my outer island friends, you know, I'd be like, stay home for the summer, fight a friend. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. You need to move. Your friends that never made it off of the island, by the time they're like in a fight with one of their friends over some chick or something, like you just need to leave for a while.
You just
need to
came
get
home,
off the rock.
You know, what happened? But before I left, everyone's high
It's
fiving.
all
Now you
good.
guys aren't even talking to each
It's
other.
like
What-
Lord of the Flies.
Yo, you need to get off the island.
yeah.
You need to go do a surf trip. All
Yeah.
you guys, because I
Blow
just
off some
scored.
steam,
I just
come
scored
back.
for a month. I
Yeah.
think it's amazing. So good to be home. So what else is new?
Yeah, exactly.
And then, so when I was like, when I was a girl, I was showing up too. I remember like, you know, Braden and all those guys are gnarly, and you guys are like the guys, you know, and Braden and them are gnarly. Like, how was it like fuck, I remember like Brayden they would start making you guys do push-ups and stuff, and I would fucking get cut them off. Oh shit, yeah, okay, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, but fuck, I seen you guys doing it. I'm just like the little fat kid, like, I don't even like surf out here yet, but so the aura and the presence of that, what you guys had to deal with is.
Oh yeah.
It's like nothing like it is now, like you said.
No,
And what was, you know what I mean? Like, you want to kind of break it down for like the.
It was like you couldn't even bring friends by. I couldn't even bring most of my friends that I knew outside of that circle even to my house.
Really?
Like to when I was living at like the Quicksilver house
Yeah.
when I was across, because I'm like somebody's gonna like want to fight him.
Right. For no reason, or just like,
Yeah.
or he's gonna walk in with his shoes on, or on the
Dude,
with
it's like
slippers
a-
on, or sad on his feet. You're like,
Any one of those yards, it's like any new male
And they were
walks into that yard and you'll just see hair starting to rise. You know,
they're,
I'm
and
like
they're looking for trouble. You're like,
looking for any
any
false
reason,
move.
any reason to false crack or scrap. You're just
Oh,
like,
like-
oh,
One, oh, what? You're just looking at my chin.
that's the most famous
But it was
line.
different. That was like, it wasn't just surfers hanging out. It was
Right.
like gnarly people that
Oh,
don't necessarily surf.
Gangsters, couple like, you know, just fucking yeah.
Fighters,
yeah,
making jokes, plenty of fighters, you know.
lot of testosterone ego around, walking around in those houses, but that's kind of what do you say that, like I don't know, it's just, I guess it came with the price, or with what we grew up with.
Yeah, it came with the
right?
territory, you know, it's like-
yes. It made you grow up real fast. It made you
Yeah,
really,
you have to be able to read a room.
definitely, yep.
That's for sure. And I've said it a bunch of times before, but I'd always trip out when, you know, because you're always doing an exchange. You make friends from California, or you go do an NSSA in California, you make friends. It's like, hey, when you come to Hawaii, come stay out
Yeah.
and stuff. But I remember just like going to parties and stuff, bring them to parties, and it's like if you got half a brain in your fucking head and you're from here, you're like, oh, vibe shift. Something's changing. Might be time to get out, or at least get a back against my
The
wall, you
and
know,
then
get in
kinda
the corner,
observe.
you know, so I can see everything that's coming at me. And they'd just be like, oh, no, I'm having fun, I don't want to leave yet. I'm like, looking over at like two people I know, just like waiting to false this guy.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
like,
all.
I'm like, you're not picking up on that right now?
Is it just me? Like, I've had as much drinks as you.
Or
but-
like, they would like not pay attention to who like a chick came in with or who they're with and go try to game her, and you're just like, oh God, here we go.
What, Mark? This your friend? Oh no, this is my acquaintance.
Yeah.
You just kind of met him at the door.
No,
but-
I'm in there like kicking him when he's down, like Dumb and Dumber. No. I'd just be like, hey, dude, you're out. Time to go.
Yeah. Hey.
Don't
that's-
argue with me. You'll thank me later.
Just shut the fuck up and say thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. Just let's just leave it at that.
And if anybody says what, don't ask them anything about it. It's not. They're not looking for an answer or an
Yeah.
explanation.
You're just like, oh, nothing. Sorry. Just put your head down and say nothing. Sorry. I was leaving my slippers. Sorry.
Yeah.
Just, no
I'm
eye
blind.
contact. Yeah,
Dude, I
yeah,
hit a
no eye
blind
contact. Just the blind man. It's just, oh yes, sorry. You guys see my walking stick?
Yeah.
I'm handicapped. You can't hit a handicap guy. Or that's actually wrong. You can't get hit with a handicap. But no, and then talking about pipeline, back to it. There's this run of pipeline season, or this season at Pipe, we had a really crazy run of waves.
Yeah.
Have you seen a run like that? When's the last time you've seen a run like that? Because you've been in the game long
It's been
enough.
a couple of years at least. The last two winters were so slow out there. It's have been like 3 years plus.
Okay.
I feel like. I don't think pipeline gets as good as it used to, which is a full old guy thing to say,
No, but
right?
it's not really. You would know,
It
though.
doesn't get perfect as much.
Right.
Like it always has like a hiccup or a clamp, and there's
like
always
a hump,
some
or like a bump.
element of backwash.
Like,
It does that a lot more where it goes like clamp to open up.
It doesn't stay open raw, like all the old videos and stuff.
Yeah,
too,
you see
like,
it just wide open.
It's crazy, and then
all the
even
way.
that's why that run of the few weeks of swell, there was like 1 or 2, 3 days or like a week. There was fucking
Yeah.
raw, like perfect. You're like, holy shit! And I seen you get some crazy ones too. Those swells, like freaking crazy ones, freaking.
It was fun, man.
Come
I
on,
had
did
a
you
good
get
old
that
time.
clip?
Probably
we'll find
not.
it. We'll find
Nah,
it.
kidding. But I think it seems to me that more water builds up off the wall.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that what it? Well, the sand-
because that water's got to escape,
Okay.
and I feel like there's more water trying to escape through the lineup at pipeline all the time.
Uh-huh.
because you'll just see that like lump going through it a lot. You know,
It does,
just big
yeah.
chunks
you
of
think,
water.
You think because it's the sand, or is it like?
Maybe maybe the way that water is starting to funnel through from like insanities to gums.
Right.
Just seems like water gets trapped there a little more.
You think it's like sand? Because you notice how? Do you remember how big the sand, the beach and stuff was at Sunset and stuff, and the bike path? There's like not as much. The beach, I swear to God, it's just shrink. Like I don't know what it is. I don't know if they took more sand to build something, or if there's like the sand's like got taken out to sea and it's just sitting out there like.
Yeah,
you know
it's
there's
everywhere.
There's like because you go diving and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So you go way out there, so you must see like, oh, what's going on. So I just had that's another reason why I'm asking you this, like.
Yeah, it's just. Yeah, just the way the sand's moving is changing everywhere.
Right.
Yeah, pretty much. The beaches are getting smaller for sure. Yeah, so I honestly do like think pipe has changed the wave. But it was sure looking, like you said, like the good old days.
It still had. She showed her a few little faces. Now you're like, oh, okay.
I'll take it. All day.
How many years did you put in pipe? You think, right? Like from.
I really started surfing it when I was 12.
I was gonna say,
or
right?
13, 12 and a half.
We'll say 12. We'll say 12.
12.
No, 12.
So yeah,
that sounds right.
I'm at 31 years surfing pipe regularly.
Right.
Jeez, it's a long time. Which is a miracle. I haven't like, knock on wood.
Yeah.
You know, I've had some bad injuries, but yeah, just started wearing a helmet these last run of swells. I'm just like, I'm over it.
Right,
like,
right. Yeah.
I just want to surf.
It's better to be safe than sorry and stuff.
Yeah.
And you've seen everything, the ups and downs and all of that. And
Exactly.
Then, you know, I feel like I'm taking up a lot of your time. Sorry. And then.
No, I'm fine. I'm cruising.
Okay, sick. And then, you know, we're doing that wave of the winter thing, right?
Oh yeah,
We're
yeah.
trying, and like, you know, we'll see if we have any money to give away.
Right, you can give them some avocados. I'll give you some.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna give them some IOUs and some fruits and veggies from Healey's yard.
Yep.
Soursop. This is actually a really great fruit.
Yep.
No, but all jokes aside, like, from what you've seen, you know, like, do you kind of have like a wave that's memorable to you this winter? You're like, oh shit, like that guy got a really good wave that kind of sticks out to you?
There's so many of them.
If you had to like think of like 3 to 5, like you don't have to pick just one. If you could just name like 3, 5 guys.
Well, Shaden got a really sick one. I saw Nate get about 1 million. I feel like I've seen everybody get like multiple tens.
Right.
Like, pretty much everyone.
But there's not like that one or two wave that sticks out to you from what you see on Instagram and everything. You're like, holy shit, that was probably one of the better waves I've seen this winter.
Shion's off the wall one was pretty crazy. I guess, yeah, I saw so many big good ones. The 2 waves that I just like for cool technical purposes was Barron's 10 in the pipe event.
That
was crazy. He's so far under it.
That was fucking out of control.
Yeah, and then Marzo's, that frontside layback he did after that crazy airdrop. It's like, those are 2 super different things that I saw people do that stood out.
Right.
They weren't like the biggest, craziest waves, but I was like, oh, you don't see that.
Right, it's just the 2 things you really, like, freaking that popped up in your mind.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, as far
that's
as like a new approach.
And then, you know, you have your lot here. You have a beautiful family and stuff now. And how is family life and dad life and like?
Good, I love it. Absolutely love it. I think if I didn't have somebody else to care about more and something to dedicate myself to, that's the other kind of weird thing about a career of professional surfing is whether you like it or not, if you're gonna do it and be successful at it, you end up being the sole focus all the time. So you gotta think about you. You gotta think about like filming clips of yourself and getting them. It's kind of corrosive and toxic, I think. It's not good for you mentally. And it's such a relief to just be like, it's about somebody else.
Right.
I love it. It feels like a weight lifted off my shoulders, you know? It's like, so I'm like, I'm wearing a helmet at pipe. I gotta friggin' be around, take care, and I don't give a shit anymore. I'm not trying to prove a damn thing to anybody.
Exactly.
I
You
love
have nothing
surfing.
to prove, yeah. And like I said,
It's not like I don't care what people think of my surfing anymore.
Right.
I don't care.
You do it for
I'm having
yourself
fun.
and yourself, like just for enjoyment and fulfillment.
Yeah.
You're like, dude, I go out there because I want. It's for me. And like Uncle D said in one of those, what is it, the surfers and movie, like, Yeah, surfing is one of the most selfish sports in the world because you go out there to please who? Yourself. It's you don't care about anybody else. It's yourself, and it's me, myself, and I. I want this wave. I want to be the guy. I want to like all. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's why when you said that, it's cool. You can get away from all of that stuff and like, fuck, I get to come home and go to the park, or I go to the beach with my daughter and wife.
You get to do
like,
all the things that you love doing too, all over again, and it's just as fun, if not more fun, watching them discover it and being able to do all that. Is like, it's a blast. I love it.
You can
Best thing that ever happened to me.
Right.
By like a long shot.
Nice. That's epic. That's rad. No, because I see your daughter is so sweet.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
She's funny, dude.
Gosh, went to the pool one day. We were all hanging out by the pool bar at Turtle Bay. She would not get out of the pool.
Well.
I'm like, oh, this is your daughter.
Yeah, she's fucking stubborn like me too,
Bro,
man.
she was swimming for like 4 hours. I'm like, oh, doesn't she get cold? Nope. I'm good.
Oh, she'll be in the water until she's like borderline like child abuse, like blue. People are like, bro,
yo, Mark,
warm your kid up.
It's okay.
Yeah.
And I seen you taking her fishing, hunting, like.
Yeah.
It's really cool. It's really fun to watch.
It is super fun. It's you get and when you see like the way they think, you know, as they've gotten older, and their sense of humor that they have, and you see the parts of you that are good or bad. But it's so funny. Like, she does so many things that are like exactly me. And thank God she has exactly mom in a lot of things. Like, she loves school. She'll do arts and crafts all day.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Like,
that's rad.
No. She wants to do her whole week homework as soon as she gets home.
Oh, really?
Like, that wasn't me. That's her mom. And then she says the wildest shit sometimes, and she's so stubborn. Like, she does not like being told what to do, which is me.
Yeah.
But it was like one time, I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
This was when she was like maybe 3.
Okay.
And she did not hear this from any of us, right? Like, this is all natural, came from this child. She's getting chewed out by my wife over something. And I just see her at her little table that she eats at. She's like sitting there stewing, thinking about it. And like 5 minutes later, she goes like this. She goes, "You don't deserve to tell me what to do." It's like, oh my God. Just see mom like, what?
Yeah.
Like, I'm staying out of this one.
It's the daughter.
I'm like a
mom.
3-year-old just came up with that.
You're all. So was that me or you?
Yeah.
That was.
I don't know, man.
I gotta go clean some fish, girls. I'll be right back.
I don't know where that came from. Yeah, she's a bull.
That's amazing. And then, like, you know, with surfing, with all this stuff going on with, you know, marketing and all people are doing the YouTubes, and like, it's different than when you're a pro surfer. But from what you see, you have any advice for like the future generations, and like any like words of encouragement and wisdom you can drop on these guys and girls?
I would say if you are looking to, so basically, like, what is like being a professional surfer? You're looking for a way to be able to validate spending time to get really good at surfing and surf more.
Right.
And be able to travel and enjoy it and everything. So you need funds. Having a regular job, you can't spend enough time to stay competitive with the pack of competitors that you're vying with in surfing. So it is like a nuts and bolts thing. Like, people are like, oh, it's like just a soul surfer guy, you know, but he's sold out. I'm like, how else? Like, you either have a job or you're a trust fund kid, or you try to make it your job.
Yeah.
So look at it that way. Always think of it from the perspective of, these people who are going to pay me have to make money.
Yes.
The only reason they can justify paying me a salary of X is if they can think their return is going to be at least 30% more of what they're investing into me.
Right.
So things are really good. These days it's way easier, even though there's less money going around, it's easier to prove your worth.
Okay.
But conversely, like, it's way harder to fake it for people.
Right.
Because it's like, you look at somebody like Jamie, like Nathan, those guys, they're like, I have all the stats. You want to see it? Do you want to see the promo codes that I've used and how much sales it's driven to my brand partners? I got it for you.
Right.
It's undeniable. So you can really, the more ways you can own platforms and avenues where you can start tracking the numbers on things, because even if a brand decides, you know, either way, for some reason or another, that you stop working with a brand, they're not taking away your platform.
No, and that's the thing. Even when you build such a big platform and a following, you can almost market yourself, and these companies like, oh shit, like, because there's influencers that can't even surf are getting paid more than pro surfers these days, and that's what kind of dilutes. Trust me, that drives me fucking crazy too. Let's not get into that. I don't want to offend anybody, okay?
But it's
we can.
Yeah. But that's the thing. It's like, strangely, like some of these influencers move a lot of weight. They move weight as far as like working with brands, and it's maybe because it's like a non-endemic, outside of surfing audience that they have that just doesn't know better, and they're like, yeah, he's a cool guy, yeah, and they're just into it, right? But it's eyes and ears that they have behind it, and it's like, you also want to have multiple avenues, right? So it's like, you know, this platform gets hacked, this platform changes their policies, and it's nearly impossible to grow without having to pay the platform,
right?
Things like that. So you want to have a few different platforms in that regard, and have multiple options. Like, so I've done stunt work for 15 years as well. That's like my secret life. Is like I've done, you know, between, at the very lowest, a month of stunt work to like 3.5 months of stunt work a year.
Right.
So I have that revenue stream. I have a bunch of different things. I got my own company that I'm a co-founder of. You know, I do some guiding for very, very few select clients in other places in the world.
Clients, yep.
And so what that gives me, and what I always wanted to build, was the ability to say no to things.
Right.
Because that's how you fuck yourself, is when you can't say no, when you're in a vulnerable position and you need the money.
Right.
And that's when you'll do weird shit. That's when you'll be like, God, that is so kooky,
feel like, so corny. Like, I can't, but the pay, you're like,
this brand makes garbage shit that I don't even like, or, you know, it doesn't fit me. I know I'm being dishonest by saying I'm into this. Like, I never want to do that. And the only way you can't do that is by not being desperate.
Right.
You have other options. Mm-hmm. Then you can start curating. It's like making a garden. It's like
financial freedom.
Yeah, and you're with companies that you like give a shit about, and that where you actually like, you would purchase their products otherwise, and like you feel good about what you're doing. You're being honest. Yeah, having an honest interaction with the people who, you know, follow you and directly or indirectly support you. And I think it's like, you have to have an honest interaction. Like, I want people to have a takeaway from, like, if I'm doing a YouTube episode or something, if they're into what I'm into, like, maybe they learn something that I could share in it.
Which you do
there's
have
an honest exchange, you know? Or if it's like, it's a product or something like that I actually think is way better. I'm like, okay, because I know how it is buying products in Hawaii too.
Right.
I'm on like forums and YouTube all the time because I hunt a lot. Like, I have to have all like snow, alpine gear and all kinds of stuff. In Hawaii, there's no stores. There's no big outdoor stores.
No,
there's one small one on the island. That's a really cool one, but it's small. So I don't know like how this hiking boots is gonna fare. Like, I can't try them on. So I appreciate the information that people give me about stuff that like legitimately use it. So I try to like help people out with that stuff too, you know? Because I need it. Like, I buy, have to buy it. I like put the boots on and I'm like, bro, my feet are too wide for these. Damn it. I gotta send them back, do the return process.
Hey, can you get a refund? And then can I get this boot?
It's a pain in the ass.
It is. And then you gotta wait a couple more weeks or whatever, they ship it out, and then you gotta track it.
And I'm only ordering the shit like 5 days before I'm supposed to be flying out, because I'm a procrastinator with it. And then I'm like, dang.
I was just saying, I'm like, frick, it's when you order stuff before your trip too. Like, fuck, okay, I guess I'm gonna have to just make it work and we'll deal with it when I get back.
But yeah, it's just having like practical things like that. So if you have an exchange with an audience where they're getting something out of it, you're not like predatory with your audience and just like, and that's how I feel like the super influencers are. They're just predatory to their audience mostly. Like, I don't know. It's just fucking weird. I can't do that. Like, the full-on thing.
Right. No, that's cool. Everyone has their style. Like, but that's your how you're saying. I have financial freedom. I have a little bit of everything, like a garden. So I don't need to depend on one thing and be like, I gotta do this. You know what I mean? So that's like,
yeah, and you need that kind of stuff because it's like, you never know, and you know, the economy we could go into a recession. We could easily go into a recession this year, and like, everyone's like, sorry. You know, those paychecks that were coming, they ain't coming.
Yeah.
You know, or things like that. So yeah, you want to have as many options as possible. And the other thing is like, if you are, how do they say it in the contracts for surfing or ambassadorships? You are you don't get health insurance.
No.
Like, so you have to figure out, like, so through stunts and in the stunt union, if I work a certain amount, my whole family gets health insurance. So that's a thing to think of. But you're always like, when you do this job, you have no safety net. Like the idea of getting like fired and getting like severance pay or unemployment or anything like that.
That don't happen for us.
Hell no. And the thing is, especially if you're like a big wave surfer or you surf dangerous waves, it says in every contract, if you're injured and unable to fulfill your duties for X amount of time, this contract's history.
Really?
Every single contract has that in there. So that means you take a double hit when you're at rock bottom. So if you're somebody who can only pay a shitload of money for insurance, so a lot of times guys are uninsured, and you're not going to get any severance package. There's no unemployment available, and in the case that everything, that's like saying, having an insurance company say, in the case that your a fire burns down your house, an agent will come and kick you in the balls after. So you're super screwed if all these things happen. So you just got to plan for it, you know?
It's better to be aware than not aware. And like, it's good to worry about that. Like you said, you gotta make plans. You gotta have a plan A, but plan B, C, and D to the back, you know? So you're like, okay, at least I can, there's a couple things I can lean back on.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But that's really important because a lot of these kids, a lot of guys, they're just like, they depend on one thing and like one check and like one, you know, like I got like 5 jobs right now. So it helps when you do have like a lot of other jobs, and like it keeps you more motivated and inspired to work too. You know what I mean? Like, you don't get burnt out on one thing.
Yeah. And that's what I was in an interview with some Aussie guys, and they're like, it seems like a lot of guys that like came from the North Shore, Hawaii in general, are like real hustlers. Like they do a lot of different things. I'm like, yeah, we live in one of the most expensive places in the world, bro. Yes. If you're not hustling, you're gonna be houseless. The hustle has got to be real.
Yeah. Frick, you're one of the ultimate hustlers. Thank you for your time, and like I'm still like, literally, like this is beautiful. Like you earned this, and you worked your ass off, and like, you know, I just want people to like know, like, when you're surfing and stuff, all you guys stay out of his way. Just like Uncle Mike, I say, bro, don't fucking paddle when him and Clowny Boy Jamie, they're going. Just, dude, stay the fuck out of the way. That's what irritates me. I'm sorry. I have so much respect for these. Because I grew up watching you, and like, I was raised by like Uncle Mike, Uncle D. You know what I mean? Like, that's my best friend's Mason. Like, you know, like, bro. That's why when I see kids and all these guys sit behind, I'm just like one day I was at surfing pipe, I fucking lost it. I was so bummed. Mark and Ayala, I was looking at Ayala and Mark. I'm like, I'm not yelling at you guys. I'm yelling for you guys. Fuck. Like, I don't mind being the bad guy, but and then I got burnt out, and that's why I didn't surf this winter. But like, fuck. But you see these guys paddling, just stay the fuck out of the way.
Please. It's crazy.
Sorry, not to sound like a dick, but
I'm just glad he says it. Nah.
I'll say it. No, I will gladly and proudly say it for you guys.
It's just
respect.
I want everybody
goes a
to have
way.
a good time.
Yeah. No,
it's just some kids are just oblivious. Like they just don't know.
And then the guys that don't even know how to surf, like, bro, I'm like, you guys especially don't go out. It's just like, dude, you guys.
But they're gonna get hurt.
Yeah, and then but if they bail your boards and you guys catch your wave, you guys are gonna get hurt. And I've seen it happen already. So it's like, bro.
It is dangerous.
It is. And nobody says anything. That's why everyone's just like this, oh yeah, high five, fucking, oh, I don't want to be the bad. Like, fuck, I'll be the bad guy, but fucking when I'm paddling, watch out. I'm collecting the reward.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, shit, I was all over. But
love you, Berg.
Love you, Mark. And like, any other last words or any last things you want to say?
Last words? Huh? Don't take yourselves too seriously. It's just surfing. We're having fun. Help your neighbors. Be kind.
And that's a wrap. Thanks, Mark.
Yep, easy.
Thank you.
It's like anytime a team manager or anybody is like, bro, I got you.
Don't believe.
That is a red flag.
Fuck, we should have said that.